Welcome everyone to Kellogg's Class of 2020 graduation celebration. My name is Greg Hanafy, and I'm the Associate Dean of Degree Programs and Operations here at Kellogg. To our graduating students from the 2-year, M, 1-year, evening and weekends, MSMS, or doctoral programs, it's truly my honor to be welcoming you today. To family, friends, supporters, and loved ones from across the globe, whether it's morning, afternoon, or evening, welcome to this celebration. We're witnessing some great achievements from people you have supported throughout their time here at Kellogg, and for that we thank you and we welcome you. So being here today in this building, it feels very strange. For all of the Kellogg buildings, it's not about the architecture, it's about the people within the walls of the buildings. It's about you. You make Kellogg special, and today we're here to celebrate the curiosity, the passion, and the commitment to collaborative learning that you've had and delivered over your years here at Kellogg. I also think about one thing that separates Kellogg and you as students and future leaders, now graduates, this idea of togetherness. I've had the chance personally to teach the MSMS students. I've had the opportunity to work with the evening, weekend, and full-time students over the past several months. It's been a great pleasure and honor. And I've also had the chance to work with some of the doctoral students as TAs as they support faculty in their teaching and research. And I think about the doctoral students as well and the legacy that they have to follow of the great Kellogg PhD grads that have gone on to do amazing things. And all of that centers around this idea of togetherness. It was never more evident when the pandemic hit back in March. You stood up, you expressed your voices, you provided feedback, and certainly if feedback is a gift, I felt like every day was my birthday. I think I aged a little bit over this time. But you also stood up for each other. You stood up to support everything that was going on, the incredible virtual events that you put together, the community, supporting healthcare systems, supporting people in need who might have lost their jobs or just needed necessities. This is the true Kellogg spirit. And before we could tell you that we were in awe of you, you did it again. You stood up for equity, social justice, racial reform. You stood up for each other. Throughout all of that, you inspired all of us with true Kellogg values, clarity of purpose, who you are as a leader, knowing what you can do to help make the world a better place. Also understanding that communities need us, community success. We need each other in good times, but also in challenging times. You also understood the true Kellogg trait of delivering high impact with low ego. And lastly, achieving together through collaboration and this idea of being together. So today, we are very proud to celebrate with your family, with your friends, your loved ones, again, from across the globe. Graduates, make sure you thank them for their support over the past several years. You're committed yourself to change. Graduates, continue, please, to be curious, continue to learn, continue to commit to change the world to be a better place. If you do that, I know Kellogg will be very proud of you. Your classmates will be very proud of you. And if we do this all together, we will make the world a better place. It's now time to celebrate your achievements. So I hope that today you get a chance to reflect upon your experience at Kellogg, stay connected, leverage the Kellogg network, and please, please keep each other in your thoughts. Congratulations, and thank you.
Hello everyone. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Edward Nagai from the Evening Weekend program.
And my name is Seamus Donegan from the full-time program. And together, we are your outgoing KSA presidents. Today, we're here to take you through our celebration and make sure that you get the heartfelt, inspirational moments so that we can all reflect together on our Kellogg journey.
In addition to us, you'll also be hearing from our Professor of the Year, Jose Liberti, your commencement speaker, Ada Osakwe, Dean Francesca Cornelli, and a few surprises in between. Now, before we get started, I just wanted to say I miss all of you out there, and I hope we get to see each other again soon.
I completely agree with you, Edward.
So without further delay, we'd like to jump into our first segment, where we look back on some of our graduating classes' favorite moments.
And some things that you might have learned over the past few months.
And a message from our Professor of the Year. Let's dive in.
All right, now I only started piano a couple weeks ago, so please don't be too rough on me.
When they close all the gyms in your area and you can't go outside to exercise, you learn to hula hoop.
My greatest Kellogg moment.
My greatest Kellogg moment.
My proudest Kellogg moment was obviously the Special K show.
Performing at the Special K show.
My proudest moment at Kellogg was when I helped organize an energy trek to San Francisco.
One of my greatest moments at Kellogg was certainly DAC 1 last year.
Taking Professor Liberti's classes.
The best part about the Kellogg experience really is being able to learn from your classmates. They all bring such different perspectives and come from such different backgrounds.
My favorite Kellogg moments were the small group dinners and lunches, where I had the opportunity to really get to know my peers and have great conversations with them.
I feel so grateful that my Kellogg experience feels like many great moments tethered together.
When we think back to our time here at Kellogg, it's very difficult to put our experience into words. But reflection and growth is such an important part of our Kellogg experience.
And there are moments that come to mind that are emblematic of who we are as a class. Moments made possible because of who we are and will impact us for years to come.
Like moments during the first day of orientation, where you got to meet your peers, your JVs, and now they're your closest friends.
Moments of gratitude, where you got that job internship or full-time offer and thought immediately of who to thank.
Moments of growth, when you just finished that presentation that took you outside of your comfort zone, and your professors and your peers were there cheering you all the way.
Moments of allyship and courage, where you could hear a pin drop at a Hear My Story event, or where you chose to open up at a small group dinner or chai night to find immediately that those around you welcomed you and supported you.
Moments when your favorite professor shared their final thoughts during the last class to a thunderous applause.
Moments when you realize your peers have just pulled off the most amazing virtual event you have ever been a part of, amidst an extraordinary quarter here at Kellogg.
Moments where we saw the world around us needing our voice and action, and we came together to do so.
And moments like this, where we're taking the time to celebrate each other's journeys.
All of these are extraordinary moments who shaped us as individuals and as a class.
And they truly were extraordinary because of you, your heart, your creativity, your brave leadership. With the challenges out in our society and in our world, rather than wind down, I really feel our class is just getting started.
And now we're very excited to introduce to you our next speaker, our Professor of the Year, Jose Liberti.
Dear graduating class of 2020, first and most importantly, I want to congratulate the graduating class of 2020 for your magnificent achievements and your graduation. It has been a very long journey for many of you and your families. This is your moment. Congratulations. well deserved. This is not a formal speech. This is not your official convocation ceremony. Hopefully, you will all return to campus next spring for that milestone all together in person. I want to thank you all and express my gratitude to the graduating class for the honor of selecting me as the LG Loudonwood Outstanding Professor of the Year. It means very much for different reasons. It is sometimes very hard to address the graduating class, since many of you do not know me well. Some of you have heard about my classes, that you work a lot, that I have no mercy on the students, or how I treat you in class, or that classes are literally painful in terms of the work you do. But the truth is that many of you do not really know me. Furthermore, it is hard to celebrate moments and feel joy in these difficult times. I want, for the rest of these brief lines, devote my attention to all of you and express my joy and celebrate with all of you your achievements. I do not want to distract from the days we are living in. But as I told my two classes in the past spring quarter, the best way we can continue moving forward and contributing to society from our space, in whatever role we decide to be in, is to give our best. In that case, or in my case, the role of a teacher, an educator. I wanted to share with you what marked me and what made me who I am today beside my family. I want to go beyond my education and studies. The first thing that marked me was sports, and not any sport. I have this crazy passion for rugby. I played it since I was 5 years old. Could continue playing if it wasn't for my age. I have half of my bones broken. The second thing that marked me how I am today is my professional career before becoming a teacher. In this sense, my graduate studies were the means to an end, that is, becoming a teacher. There are four main things I focus on in bringing this background in context. I hope you can learn from that. The first one is passion. Many people say I'm too intense. And in fact, I have one colleague and friend in the finance department that always tells me, you go all in teaching. If you do not play, work, or act with that intensity, it is time to readdress or redefine your priorities and do something else with your life. You have to wake up in the morning and want you to continue doing what you're doing. Give everything, 150% in whatever you decide to do. The second thing is you lead with example. In rugby, you are taught since very little to be humble and to sweep the sheds. The New Zealand national team is famous for this mantra. James Kirk, a journalist, studied their culture and describes sweeping the shed as a tradition that says that no individual is bigger than the team. There are no big heads. Everyone is responsible for the smallest details, including cleaning out the locker room after training or a match. Sweeping the shed is your job, no matter who you are and what you are. You need to lead with example. Find your mantra that will follow you through your personal and professional life. The third thing, someone taught me this, better people make better teams. Or in other words, better people make better places in organizations. If one is not a good person, things will not work out in any organization. We all like to say we are team players, but the actions show whether we are truly team players or not. And finally, try to write your own story. Take a moment or two in your journey and write your own story, but not writing your story in school. When you start getting older, you realize that this is the moment to write those stories. It was a true pleasure getting to know you, and some of you very well. I hope many of you realize that academic rigor can go hand in hand with having a lot of fun in class and learning something that may be useful in the future. I'm truly grateful for the students I have taught. Most likely you will forget some of the learnings, but I hope you remember the experience of being in a learning environment of highly motivated and curious-driven participants. I had a lot of fun. I hope you did as well. And I wish you all the best in your personal and professional careers. Take care.
Welcome back, everyone.
For many of us, it's hard to believe that as of this moment, we are becoming alumni and joining the global network of the Kellogg community.
And to help us with this next step, we're very excited to share a message from our alumni community, our commencement speaker, Osakwe, and of course, our very own Dean Francesca Cornelli.
Class of 2020.
Congratulations on this extraordinary achievement.
We're here to celebrate you.
We are here to celebrate.
We're here to celebrate you.
But we are not just celebrating the achievement of today.
Having been in your shoes,
we know you didn't just wake up and decide you wanted to go to Kellogg.
We're celebrating the years of hard work leading up to this moment.
The drive and compassion, the personal revision.
The value system you were determined to build.
And your courage to take the more difficult path.
No, this did not come easy.
And we celebrate you for it.
We also know that you couldn't have done it alone.
So we want to celebrate your family and friends.
The community that surrounded you.
The powerful network that encouraged you during your most challenging moments.
And pushed you to strive further and exceed your own expectations of yourself.
You are where you are today because of their hard work too.
Class of 2020, it's undeniable this is an incredible moment in our history.
We are experiencing the challenges of a pandemic.
We are coming into a true moment of reckoning with centuries of racial injustice in the US
and around the globe. People are grappling with fundamental questions. Who are we as a people?
Who do we want to be?
What do we stand for?
But there is no question that you are the class to meet this moment.
It is because of who you are.
How you are rising to this moment, determined more than ever to innovate in the face of disruption.
Work for justice and equity, and build a more inclusive community.
Class of 2020, you are extraordinary.
And there's no doubt in our minds that you are ready.
So what will you do next? What will you do with all that you've achieved and the strength of your peers beside you?
But no matter what you choose to do,
and whatever your next step may be,
just know that you will always have the Kellogg community by your side.
Us.
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 We are joining you as your peers.
We are so excited to meet you.
To collaborate with you.
We will support you as you continue to grow and take risks.
And we hope you will join us in supporting the next generations of Kellogg leaders too.
Class of 2020, we welcome you.
And we are so excited.
So excited.
So excited.
So excited.
You're so excited to be by your side.
And now we're proud to introduce one of our own.
Your commencement speaker, Ada Osakwe.
Kellogg Class of 2020, congratulations on your graduation. It's so good to be back, even if it's virtually. Last year, I had the chance to visit the new Global Hub for the first time. How amazing is that building? Wendy Metter at Student Affairs showed me around the incredible spaces, the breathtaking view of Lake Michigan, the healthy food options, and you guys have a gym? Wow. You have to understand, I compared this to the Jacobs Center and how, as part of the KSA, our first win as student leaders was to lobby really hard to get a frozen yogurt machine in the atrium. I mean, really hard. By the end of the tour, I was like, Wendy, this isn't fair. They get to go here? I need to ask for my tuition back. Anyway, thank you, Dean Cornelli, for inviting me to share in this very special moment. I was told I'm the first African to address a Kellogg graduating class. As I think about this honor, I recognize that I am Black first before I am African. And so I thank the Black American women and men who, through their hard work, influence, and inspiring journeys, have paved the way, making it possible for me to be on this stage. Class of 2020. Today I'm filled with such deep emotion as I remember being in your shoes nearly 10 years ago. My classmates and I were on such a high. 2 years of coursework, countless team meetings, case competitions, and recruiting were finally over. We had put in the work and of course had a lot of fun in the process. And now we were finally getting to take the world by storm as Kellogg MBAs. In your case, it's definitely a different kind of world. And I cannot even begin to imagine what must be going through your minds as you contemplate an immediate future that is so uncertain. But what's important is that in spite of this, you made it to this moment. Class of 2020, you have shown such courage. I know in your last quarter, you must have been so confused, angry, and maybe even scared when your education was disrupted. But you bravely soldiered on, and you focused on getting to the finish line. And for this, I celebrate you. As we face the complexities of the journeys ahead in the extraordinary, challenging times we're in, our world needs leaders like you. You're the real MVPs. So in my mind, there's no question about it. You were built for this moment. You have survived. And as you leave Kellogg today, I now need you to thrive. But that's easy for me to say. It's not so easy to do. I know because when I was graduating Kellogg, unlike many of my classmates, I didn't have a full-time job offer. Everyone knew I wanted to work in private equity in Africa. But my problem was that even after 2 years at Kellogg, leveraging the many resources and options available to me, I still ended up with nothing, while my friends had multiple offers. I was so insecure, anxious, and worried about my future. It was only after 4 long months that I eventually landed a gig in private equity in New York, and with an Africa-focused fund, exactly what I wanted. After my time in New York, I went into public service, joining the Nigerian Minister of Agriculture as his senior investment advisor. This high-level role gave me unparalleled exposure at the highest levels. After 4 years, I gave it all up. I gave up the power and the influence that came with my position, deciding to become an entrepreneur instead. Friends disappeared overnight, and my phone wasn't ringing anymore. It was a difficult time, as I felt I had to prove my professional capabilities to people all over again and rebuild my entire private sector career from scratch. Thinking back, it was just what was needed to motivate me to make sure my startup, Newly, became the fastest growing beverage brand and fast casual restaurant chain in Nigeria. So in your quest to thrive, there will be curveballs thrown your way, and you have to take risks. It's a given. But you've just got to trust the journey. The current times we're in makes this even more relevant. As a business owner, the last few months have been the most difficult ever. Over the last few years, we've experienced phenomenal growth and outperformed all our operational targets, launching Nigeria's most popular brand of cold-pressed juices and opening up 10 fast casual restaurants, with a lot more sites planned for this year. And so it's been so tough coming to terms with the way our revenues were just wiped out abruptly since March, or having to deal with a business model that's changing every other day as we juggle all sorts of scenarios for the new normal. How does one come to terms with the fact that the crisis has severely affected our supply chains, making it difficult to reach the local farmers who depend on us to purchase their harvests? Or the painful realization that after 3 months of trying my best to avoid this, I had to lay off people who have depended solely on our company to feed themselves and their families. It's been a rough ride. You see, unlike in the United States, the Nigerian government didn't give out any payroll protection checks. And so businesses, small businesses like mine, a group that make up over 80% of the labor force of my country, have been left alone to navigate these shaky waters. This was so unfair. And I realized I couldn't just sit back and watch this happen. And so I spoke up. I started an online petition for the government to support small and growing businesses. I sent policy recommendations directly to Nigerian government officials and members of the cabinet. I spoke extensively on nationwide media platforms, calling out our leaders for their lack of care and support for citizens at such a difficult time. Through the process, I rallied like-minded people to join me, and a few weeks ago, we set up a non-profit pressure group that now represents the voices and the interests of a fast-growing number of small business owners in Nigeria. We are now beginning to get our message through, with some funding relief finally being provided. I share this story because globally, we're at a tipping point. as we see various forms of injustice being revealed. And so now more than ever, the world needs brave leaders like you and me and all other Kellogg grads around the world to provide solutions to the existential problems being faced by humanity. And so it's so important to find your voice and help others find theirs too during these extraordinary times. Some of you are going off to launch startups. Others are going to work with established businesses, and some with social enterprises. Some of you are still figuring things out. Wherever you find yourself, identify areas that require change and respond to the environment around you. And then lead with conviction. Do it all with the strongest values and highest levels of integrity. One of my favorite Bible verses is in Proverbs chapter 22. It says, "A good name is more desirable than great riches. To be esteemed is better than silver or gold." So as you build businesses, know that your reputation is everything. What I loved so much about Kellogg was how we found commonality in our diversity, openly celebrating each and every person, no matter who or what they were, or what they believed, or where they came from. Being one of 10 Africans in my year, it was great to be able to share our jollof rice and dudu with our classmates at Taste of Kellogg and expose people to the exciting investment opportunities on our continent through the Kellogg African Business Conference. There's no question, Kellogg is a safe space. But you're now coming back out into a world that clearly is not as kind to people who are not in the majority. So for the amazing women among you, let your brilliance and awesomeness shine through you as you keep amplifying your voices. As a young woman, throughout my life, I have suffered all forms of biases and discriminatory practices in the workplace and society. But this has never stopped me from forging my own path to greatness. And so go ahead and crash through that ceiling, tear down those walls, and create your nice, comfortable seat at multiple tables. To members of the Black Management Association, thank you for educating your allies, even as you go through this difficult time in your continued struggle for true emancipation. At Kellogg, I remember how my friend Tony Dick sat me down for over 3 hours in a meeting room at the Jake to school me on the struggle of Black people in America. As a Nigerian, although I experienced tribalism and ethnic discrimination, I had never faced any sort of racism since everyone in my country is Black. Tony helped me check my Black African privilege at the door, and for this, I will forever be grateful to him. For this, I will always do all I can to speak out against the inhumane treatment of Blacks, not just in America, but across the world. And so I urge the non-Blacks among you to please also find your voice on this issue and join us as invaluable allies to finally put racial injustice to rest. And to all the LGBTQ graduates among you, happy Pride Month. This year marks the golden jubilee of the gay parade. And yet, there are still hundreds of thousands of your community who are persecuted daily. In my country, Nigeria, violence against LGBTQ people is frequent in our society. We have a long way to go. As you did since Stonewall, may you continue to move the needle on tolerance, equality, justice, and acceptance for all. I truly believe crises have the ability to bring out the best in humanity. Class of 2020, you have a front row seat in this journey to shape the world we want to see, a better world. And so as you go forward, embrace your vulnerabilities head on. They are in many ways your strengths. In the process, search for truth and relevance. Make those mistakes, but make sure you learn from them. And listen, oh please listen, and don't just hear. Finding your voice means finding meaning in all you do. Own your uniqueness, thrive in your authenticity, and the rest will follow. Be kind, and as you work hard for your success, remember to bring others along with you. Walk your talk, Match what you say with what you do. Find your happiness, and when you do, flaunt it. Nothing is more exhilarating. And finally, please guard your mental health preciously. The world will demand a lot from you. Don't let it take all of you. As I wrap up, I want to thank all the management, faculty, administrators, cleaners, support workers, and everyone who kept the wheels in motion during your time at Kellogg. I also want to thank your family members, friends, and mentors who played such a strong role in helping you get to this moment. They should all be so proud. Class of 2020, once again, congratulations. I will be back at the Global Hub for my 10-year reunion next year, and I look forward to meeting you all as you celebrate your first.
Good morning. Thank you, Ada, for being part of our celebration, sharing your story, and encouraging the newest member of the Kellogg Alumni Network to lead with conviction. I also want to thank the community of scholars, educators, professionals, and partners who have been part of our graduate journeys. Today is no ordinary celebration. These are extraordinary times, and you are extraordinary graduates. Today, we recognize and honor 1,042 graduates from our full-time MBA, evening and weekend MBA, MSMS, and doctoral programs. And at this moment, when you're about to leave Kellogg as students, you may be asking yourself, what does the world need from me? What kind of leader will I be? As many of you already heard me say many times, there are two qualities of Kellogg which distinguish it. First, Kellogg is a place of great creativity and an environment that spurs innovation and agility. Second, Kellogg has a deeply collaborative culture that fosters empathy. Creativity, empathy, agility, these are qualities that prepare you for the world that will continue to change. My wish for you is to embrace change and challenges throughout the rest of your careers and the rest of your life. And so I'm so proud, so tremendously proud to have 1,042 Kellogg graduates entering the world. I feel these are the traits that the world needs today, and that together the graduates of 2020 will have such an amazing impact on it. Remember one thing, this is no time for incremental change. We look around us and we're realizing that doing one step at a time has not brought us far enough. We need to start thinking outside the box. We need to redesign our future. We need not to accept the status quo if it is not good enough. You have finished your time at Kellogg during turbulent days, grappling with the global health pandemic and the reckoning with centuries of racial injustice. It strikes me as particularly poignant that today's celebration falls on Juneteenth, a day that is both uplifting and heavy with sadness as it commemorates the end of slavery in America. And as I read more about this holiday, I understood why this has taken on renewed force and meaning this year, because it reminds us of the challenges that we still face, as so many institutions and individuals look at racial injustice through new eyes. I know these last few months have shaken you. They have changed you. Let them change you for the best. Out of these past months, I hope your highest aspiration, your strongest resilience will be born. And it has been born. Sheltering in your places to stay safe You discovered that technology allowed you to remain connected no matter the distance and stretch you to do things you would not have done. This was no incremental change. You had to change things that had remained the same or changed only marginally for years. Did you ever imagine, at the onslaught of the crisis, that you would have adapted so quickly to a new and scary situation? Probably not. And yet, you did adapt it. And you didn't just adapt it, you thrive in it. And you became incredibly inventive. I watched in awe at all the new initiatives you created to keep alive the sense of community. Not to talk about all the dancing I have seen. You showed everybody that Kellogg students take their experience in their own hands. You acted and reinvented your life at Kellogg in a virtual world. So when in the future you will face obstacles that look insurmountable, think back to this quarter. Think back to what you achieved. And don't let ever anybody tell you that you cannot change things. The power of a creative mind is unstoppable. You also saw as some in our community got sick, all thankfully recovered, but terrifying nonetheless. While doing your studies, you may have worried tremendously about your loved ones, especially parents and grandparents in faraway places. You dealt with stress, anxiety, sadness, and these too built your resilience. Through the most recent events of racial violence, you shared your anger and sadness with your friends, family, and classmates. You exchanged expressions and commitments of support and allyship. All throughout, your empathy showed strongly. So wherever you apply your skills and passion, each one of you will have an amazing impact. Think of what 1,042 Kellogg graduates collectively will do to shape these times. Whether you want to focus on a more sustainable world or a more inclusive world, or whether you want to just create products or services to make everybody's daily life better, even if only in a light way, I know your focus will be on creating long-lasting values. After all, I believe you chose Kellogg because you sought something more insightful, more meaningful, even if you didn't really knew at the time what it was. I believe you chose Kellogg not because of what you want to do, but who you want to be. And now Kellogg is part of you. It can never be separated from you. And while I believe you gain much from Kellogg, I know we have gained a lot from you. Our school is richer because of all the amazing students who pass through. All of us know how lucky we are to be here. And nobody can testify to that more than me. I've been here less than a year, and I already feel changed. I understood how special Kellogg was, and I came here to move it forward. But now, I feel Kellogg moved me forward. Some months ago, I thought I would have come to this convocation and say, this is my first convocation with the MBA, MS, PhDs, and we have a special bond. But so much more happened, so I feel that bond will be so much deeper. We lived through this incredible time together. I received so many emails from you, and not the kind of emails an dean usually receives. So much more raw emotions, questions, uncertainties. Trying to answer your question made me reflect so much more about what did I want for Kellogg? What should we want for Kellogg? I felt I found my way through these recent months together with you. So let us celebrate together this incredible journey. Years from now, we will look back and we will remember all that happened while we were together. And we will recognize that this time had such an incredible impact on us, helped us aim higher, helped us not to be happy with incremental change. So your ties to one another will not dissolve when we conclude this celebration. They will not be severed when you will walk across the stage in June 2021 Convocation, because there will be a June 2021 Convocation. The Kellogg alumni community awaits you. Together, we can keep pushing ahead. Remember, you represent Kellogg and our values. We trust you to make us proud. I wish you great success, meaningful career, and lives of great impact. On behalf of Kellogg and Northwestern University, congratulations. But I haven't finished. It is a Kellogg tradition. The students stand up and thank the people who have supported you along your journey, your lifelines, your biggest fans, your parents, spouses, partner, family, and friends. But before you do that, I have a special message from them.
Congratulations! Congratulations!
Eu te amo muito, meu filho. Vai em frente, que Deus te...
We are so proud of you, girl.
Super proud of you.
Super duper proud of you. So have we get our weekends back with you?
Today is a special day, not only for you.
It's a lot more special for us because now we are a Kellogg's graduate parents.
I'm so proud of you for all you've done and what you're about to do as well with all of this. So remember, I love you.
You care about the people that are around you. You care about the causes you believe in. Keep working hard and inspiring others. I couldn't be more proud of you.
You are young, scrappy, and hungry. You've got a lot of brains and polish.
Great things are to come from you, and the best years of your life are ahead of you.
And there are some people there that want to congratulate you today.
Congratulations!
Congratulations!
Congratulations, Danny. You two boys are very, very proud of you.
We're so proud of you, yeah!
You've always worked very hard for this, very committed, always eyes on the prize, and now you're officially smarter than me.
I think you're amazing because you're really funny. Hahaha.
Ik ben super trots op je. Gefeliciteerd.
Que Dios bendiga tu futuro. Te queremos mucho.
I love you, Daddy.
I'm so glad that you're back in India now.
I'm looking forward to have you back in Brazil. Love you. Bye.
Ya, beso. Ciao, ciao.
Beso.
Best of luck. Best of luck. Proud of you.
And with those amazing messages, we conclude our celebration today. Class of 2020, thank you for the opportunity to learn together.
It truly has been an honor. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you and cannot wait till we're back together again next year to celebrate. So for now, please grab a glass, grab a mug, or anything near you and join us in a toast.
Congratulations, Class of 2020.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Class of 2020.
To the Class of 2020, I can't wait to see all the amazing things you do in the future. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Class of 2020. Go on, be brave, and make Kellogg proud. We know you will. Congratulations.
Class of 2020, congratulations on your achievement. We are so proud of you. Keep exemplifying the Kellogg spirit. I will congratulate you in person at the June 2021 Convocation. Arrivederci.
you.